8 ancient business strategies that still drive modern success. The business world moves at the speed of a fiber optic cable, but the road to success was paved by a camel caravan. In a landscape dominated by AI, blockchain, and viral marketing, it's easy to dismiss the wisdom of the past as archaic. We rush to adopt the newest tech stack, chasing a fleeting competitive edge. Yet the foundational pillars of every successful enterprise, from Amazon to the local bakery, were established thousands of years ago. Imagine the Roman Empire, the most dominant economic force the world had ever seen, building an infrastructure that lasted a millennium. Picture ancient Chinese silk merchants forging a path of trade across continents, the Silk Road, without a single digital transaction. Their strategies weren't about complex algorithms, they were about immutable human and commercial principles. They had no MBA programs, no venture capital, and no spreadsheets, yet their businesses defined eras. The most potent tool for growth in your modern business isn't a new app, it's timeless wisdom. By applying the core, no-nonsense principles of ancient traders, emperors, and philosophers, you can strip away the noise and build a foundation for success that is as rock-solid as the pyramids. Ready to harness the commercial gravity of the past to launch your modern enterprise? Here are 8 ancient business strategies that will help you grow any business today. 1. Master the rhetoric of persuasion. Logos, pathos, and ethos, ancient Greece. Long before ad agencies existed, the Greek philosopher Aristotle codified the art of influence into 3 pillars of rhetoric: logos, pathos, and ethos. Today, this is the blueprint for all effective marketing and sales. The ancient application, Greek orators and statesmen used these principles to sway public opinion and secure trade deals. The modern strategy, apply all 3 in your marketing campaigns. Logos, logic. Use data, facts, and concrete evidence. For example, our software increases productivity by 40%. This targets your customer's rational mind. Pathos, emotion. Tell stories that connect with your audience's hopes, fears, or aspirations. This human element, for example, a testimonial video about how your product changed a family's life, is essential for brand loyalty. Ethos, credibility. Establish your expertise and trustworthiness. This includes social proof, certifications, and a consistent ethical brand voice. Without credibility, your facts, logos, and story, pathos, fall flat. Why it works today? In a world saturated with information, a message that is simultaneously logical, emotional, and trustworthy cuts through the noise and compels action. 2. Build in-person infrastructure. The Roman Empire. The Romans understood that economic growth is impossible without a robust infrastructure for distribution and communication. Their massive network of roads, ports, and standardized systems enabled commerce to flourish from Britain to Egypt. The ancient application, building the Roman roads, was not merely a military move, it was an economic one. It drastically reduced the time and risk involved in moving goods, lowering the cost of trade, and creating a single, accessible market. The modern strategy, your roads are your infrastructure for distribution and digital access. Think beyond your product. Supply chain. Invest in a robust, efficient supply chain like a major e-commerce company's fulfillment network. Digital infrastructure. Ensure your website, e-commerce platform, and customer service channels are fast, reliable, and standardized, accessible to everyone, everywhere. A slow website or clunky ordering system is a broken road that halts trade. Why it works today? Efficiency is profit. The smoother and faster you can deliver your product or service, the greater your reach and market share will be. 3. Prioritize strategic analysis and agility. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. While The Art of War is a military treatise, its core principles are pure business strategy. Sun Tzu's main lesson is that you must know your enemy, competitor, and yourself, your resources, before you even begin the fight, market launch.
The ancient application, Sun Tzu stressed the importance of meticulous planning and analysis, but also the need for agility, the ability to adapt instantly when the situation changes. The best general wins a battle before it is even fought by knowing the terrain and the enemy's weakness. The modern strategy, this translates directly to strategic planning and competitive analysis. Strong analysis, dedicate time to deeply analyze your market, competitors' strengths and weaknesses, and your own core capabilities, your resources, and agility. Implement an organizational structure that allows you to pivot quickly. If a competitor launches a new feature or a market shift occurs, your team must be able to change course without bureaucratic delay. Be fast, be flexible. Why it works today? The market environment is constantly unstable. Meticulous preparation combined with the ability to swiftly adapt is the only way to survive and gain a first-mover advantage. 4. Master the art of reputation and branding. Ancient Egypt and Rome. In ancient times, without mass media, a trader's mark on a product or the consistent quality of a city's output was all the guarantee a customer had. This was the earliest form of branding. The ancient application, the pharaohs of ancient Egypt used the pyramids, statues, and royal seals to project an image of unparalleled power, stability, and resource management, a brand of eternal authority. In Rome, wine amphoras were stamped with a titulus pictus, a painted label that indicated the producer and origin, guaranteeing quality and price consistency. The modern strategy, your brand is your promise and your most valuable asset. Visual consistency. Just like the Roman stamps, ensure your logo, messaging, and customer experience are consistent across all platforms: website, social media, and product packaging. Reputation management. Focus intensely on ethical practices and delivery. A broken promise today, a bad online review, spreads faster than a rumor in the Roman Forum. Integrity is non-negotiable because your brand is literally your credibility, ethos. Why it works today? Trust is the currency of the digital age. Strong, consistent branding allows customers to make a purchase decision based on your known reputation rather than having to risk trying an unknown product.
5. Embrace alliance building, the Silk Road and Indian trade guilds. Ancient trade was not a solitary pursuit. Merchants on the Silk Road and across the Indian Ocean formed large structured trade alliances, guilds and caravans, to share risk, protect assets, and navigate complex international laws. The ancient application. Joining a caravan allowed a small merchant to benefit from the security and infrastructure of a much larger group, minimizing the risk of bandits or natural disasters. These alliances were partnerships for mutual benefit and reach. The modern strategy. Strategic partnerships are the modern-day caravan. Partner for reach. Collaborate with other businesses, not necessarily competitors, to access new customer bases. For example, a software company partnering with a hardware manufacturer. Share risk or knowledge. Join professional organizations, form mastermind groups, or engage in joint ventures to share development costs and market intelligence. You don't have to grow alone. Why it works today. Exponential growth often comes from accessing another company's established audience. Alliances drastically expand your distribution and instantly boost your credibility. 6. Focus on core value for target audience, the barter system. The earliest form of commerce, the barter system, lacked standardized currency. This forced traders to perform the purest form of marketing, identifying a specific, immediate need and having a product that precisely met that need. The ancient application. If a farmer had a surplus of grain, they sought a tailor who needed grain and could offer a garment they needed. The transaction required a convergence of needs. This was hyper-targeted marketing based on a clear value exchange. The modern strategy? Before you build or market anything, you must establish your unique value proposition by defining who needs it most. Solve a specific problem. Avoid offering a generic solution. Be like the grain merchant. Identify the specific person, your target audience, who has the most urgent, quantifiable need that only your product can satisfy. Barter value. Clearly articulate the value your customer receives versus the money they give you. The modern purchase is simply a monetary form of bartering value for currency. Why it works today? In an economy of endless choice, the most successful businesses are those that niche down and solve a clear, specific problem better than anyone else, creating an undeniable, immediate value proposition. 7. Invest in human capital, mentorship, and succession. The training of new artisans in craft guilds and the careful grooming of an heir in a dynasty were not just social traditions, they were vital economic strategies to ensure the continuity and quality of the business. The ancient application. From the Greek academy to the medieval guilds, the process of mentorship, master teaching apprentice, was the primary method for maintaining high standards and passing on specialized knowledge. The future of the business rested on the successful succession of skilled labor and leadership. The modern strategy? Your people are your greatest asset and your most critical investment. Mentorship programs. Institute formal or informal programs where seasoned employees mentor new hires. This drastically improves skill transfer, engagement, and long-term retention. Succession planning. Identify and actively train the next generation of leaders, from managers to executives. Never let critical knowledge or skill remain with a single person. Why it works today? In the knowledge economy, your competitive advantage is tied to your team's collective skill. Mentorship is the most cost-effective way to develop talent and future-proof your leadership. 8. Uphold integrity and keep your word. The Code of Hammurabi. In societies where legal contracts were scarce and enforcement was difficult, a merchant's reputation for honesty was their most valuable credit. Trust was literally the foundation of all commerce. The ancient application. Legal codes like the Code of Hammurabi circa 1754 BC laid out harsh penalties for deceptive business practices, acknowledging that a stable society, and thus a stable economy, required accountability. The expectation was that you kept your word. The modern strategy. Reliability builds credibility. Transparency. Be completely honest about your product's capabilities, pricing, and potential delays. Hidden fees or misleading claims are the fastest way to destroy trust. Follow through. Do what you say you will do when you say you will do it. This builds the credibility required for repeat business and word-of-mouth referrals, still the most powerful form of marketing. The why it works today. In a world of fleeting digital relationships, integrity and reliability are the most respected and rare professional habits. They establish the trust that enables high-value transactions and long-term customer relationships. The greatest irony of modern business is that the new always cycles back to the old. The difference between a fleeting startup and an enduring empire isn't the technology they use, but the timeless principles they adhere to. By integrating these 8 ancient strategies, from the persuasive power of rhetoric and the strategic planning of an empire to the foundational trust of a handshake deal, you're building your business on a foundation that has already proven its strength across millennia. The tools change, but the path to growth remains the same. Which of these ancient wisdoms do you feel your business is most lacking today? Let me know in the comments.